What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Godsey for Justin Godsey TV. Thank you so much for checking out tonight's video. Tonight, guys, I have decided to come back into my old desk area. I've taken about a month absence for being in this room for doing my previews and everything like that. As a thunderstorm rolls in, I'm sorry for that dramatic pause there, but we do have a thunderstorm rolling in, so I'm going to try and get this done as fast as possible. But like I said, guys, I am here in my old room where I first started doing videos here on YouTube, face to face with the camera, and we're here talking about professional wrestling. The past couple of days, I've been talking a lot about mixed martial arts. I got a lot of views on the videos, but we still have those haters, leaving their comments. So haters, if you're watching this, please keep on, bringing out the hate comments. I try my best for you guys. Everything speaking from my heart, talking about, what I want to, talk about here on my YouTube channel. And today is a good topic to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. WWE is getting back into a groove, but what about Impact Wrestling? What about TNA? One of my favorite companies to watch. It's a second-hand company next to the WWE to watch. And I've considered myself a TNA original fan. I've been watching TNA since it's really started, rising. I've been watching guys like AJ Styles, Abyss, when he was wearing that blue t-shirt back in the day. Raven is still in my top 5 for best wrestlers in my, for me watching. I'm a huge fan of Raven. I love the push that Raven got in TNA, whether it's his run with Serotonin, whether it's him, battling with Rhino and Jeff Jarrett, Larry Zbyszko, you name it. I've always been following Raven for a while now. I thought he was always an entertaining character in Impact Wrestling. I like the push that he gave him. But you know what? TNA has now hit that, if you want to look into that a few years later, TNA, rising up to, the high standards of what I thought it would be, and now they're hitting that big brick wall. They signed a deal with Spike TV. They were originally under Fox Sports when they're first coming out, but you know what, in 2005 they signed this nice contract with Spike TV, which allowed TNA to air on Spike TV. It was under a 1-hour show. It's just a quick show, professional wrestling here. It's still going to be a rising company. There was a lot of great acquirements to the roster, but they decided to go 2 hours a couple of years after the fact, and then all of a sudden TNA, when you look into 2014, just about almost 5 or 6 years later, you have this automatic hit with the brick wall. The company is no longer going to be under the viewership of Spike TV. So Impact Wrestling and Spike TV is officially done. That's the biggest question here. I've been reading a lot of different reports from a bunch of other people's perspective on the on the developing story. I can misinterpret this story, or from what I am hearing is that their current deal is ending in October between Spike TV and Impact Wrestling. But with this early announcement that they've canceled TNA, but does this mean that Impact Wrestling can no longer going forward not able to broadcast on Spike TV? Is this an early termination of their deal, or is this just Spike TV 2 months out of their current deal, or heading up on August? I'm considering this 2 months outside of their deal is supposed to be ended, or is this one of those deals where it's like we're done with you, this is the final show, we're not going to reconsider anything, once October comes it's officially over. It could be either or. I'm misinterpreting it, but if if I'm right, if I'm speaking this a whole lot, if I'm understanding this a whole lot, please confirm it down below. But this is a big brick wall for the world of Impact Wrestling, because this is a company that has worked their ass off for a number of years to try and get back up and try to get some good ratings and try to compete with the WWE. They'll never compete with the money that Vince McMahon has, even though he has lost a whole lot of it over the past couple of months. But TNA has always been that second show. I was listening to Chris Jericho's podcast, and I think Jim Ross was a part of it. And a question brought up, what are JR's thoughts on TNA? And Jim Ross said, the exact same thing what I said. It's not gonna be a show that's gonna compete up to the standards of World Wrestling Entertainment. It's always gonna be that number 2 show. It's gonna be like after the Monday Night Wars, how WCW was always that number 2 show after WWE ran away with the ratings after that whole Monday Night War battle between the two companies. Impact Wrestling has always been the show that will go down as being, somewhat entertaining. It gets you away from the PG product in professional or in the WWE. So if you guys are looking for an outside PG rated, wrestling promotion, you can look at Impact Wrestling. What it brings to the plate is a lot of the old WWE competitors, such as Kurt Angle, guys like, oh man, this is just a big name. The Team 3D, but you know what? Team 3D is going down a great alley. Jeff Hardy's a member, so we got a lot of great guys coming into TNA that played big parts as well as Christian Cage. But TNA is just this is a big brick wall. What are they gonna do now? Spike TV has just been giving Dixie Carter warning after warning after warning that something's gonna come up. They're just right on the verge of officially pulling the plug on TNA wrestling, and the future of the company is going into doubt right now. I'm not saying are they gonna immediately shut down the company. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I guarantee it. There could be a lot of other TV networks out there wanting to go out and pick it up. A lot of people have been saying maybe they can go back to Fox Sports Net. Fox Sports Net is great, but it's not as mainstream as as a Spike TV, as a USA Network. When you really look at SmackDown is already on Sci-Fi Network, so you can't go there. It's just very hard right now for Impact Wrestling to secure a contract. If we're looking at it as there's going to be no more Impact Wrestling after today's announcement. It's just very hard on the wrestlers right now. I understand what they're going. I can understand what how mind-boggling the situation is, because they're trying to get back. We've been fans of TNA for a while. We all want to see the success of this company, but it's never going to match up to what WWE has. I've been listening to a lot of your guys' videos. How fast this news comes about. The amount of people making videos and just wanting to upload it to YouTube. A lot of people have been saying, why doesn't the WWE finally buy Impact Wrestling? Now there's been a lot of bluffing videos here on YouTube that WWE has bought Impact Wrestling, or Vince McMahon is scheduled to buy Impact Wrestling at the beginning of 2014 or 2015. But we all know that those are bluff videos. But this could possibly end up being the opportunity that Vince McMahon needs. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with it, but I'm just throwing out some possibilities here. If you guys want to hate on me about that, I do apologize. But you know what? I'm just looking at it on what's gonna keep TNA surviving, what's gonna keep it going. But you know what? I was listening to Assault and Battery's video, Assault and Battery 777. I've been a big fan of his YouTube videos for a while now, and he made a great thought in my head. Why doesn't the WWE go out and buy Impact Wrestling, putting it on the WWE Network? Impact Wrestling has a roster where it does not need to go straight to the WWE Network. I think that'll be it just doesn't really connect. A roster like that, you would for sure say that the WWE will be end up bringing up Austin Aries, Robert Roode, Samoa Joe. You can put some guys down there like Rockstar Spud, I think his name is, Ethan Carter the 3, aka Derek Bateman. You can put all those guys down at NXT. It's going to end up strengthening the roster at NXT. Giving us some more prospects that are coming up. I know there's going to be a handful of prospects coming up to the WWE at some point before the end of the year. So that could be a possibility, but I don't see it for sure being a thing. I think it's just a good idea to bring up that it's an opportunity out there. It could be a chance there, but I think with the current standpoint in Impact Wrestling, going straight over to a WWE network, you're not having the TV time. You're going from being an excellent company with putting on some great matches. TNA is doing a great job when it comes to their matches now. They brought over a bunch of overseas competitors from Japan. Have a great partnership with them in Japan. I heard Tajiri is a part of the show. They just got done with these New York tapings, so I'm really excited. I watched the tapings back. We've seen a whole new development in James Storm's character. But this is a bad time for TNA to lose this TV deal right now with Spike TV, with the role that they have right now, with Bully Ray hunting down Dixie Carter to put her through a table. Bully Ray's doing a great thing. Devon, Team 3D is back. They're going into the Hall of Fame. They lost Sting. That's a big blow to the company right there, because Sting is always that fan favorite. He's been doing a lot of great things in the company. But this is the ultimate brick wall right here for Impact Wrestling. What's the future have in store for Impact Wrestling? What does that mean for the wrestlers? Are they going to be? They can have their house shows and everything. That's what they're currently at this current standpoint, is having house shows if they're not live on national television. So there's a lot of big issues going around Impact Wrestling at this current point. So let me hear from your guys' opinion. What's next for Impact Wrestling? Could this possibly be the end of Impact Wrestling? Do you think WWE will dish out the money to buy the company? Do you think, or if you guys want to go with other people's predictions and have him placed on the network. You know, anything can happen, but you know, well, all that we know now is that Impact Wrestling and Spike TV no longer have a contract going forward, and this is a pretty dark day in the world of professional wrestling and TNA exactly. So I'm Justin Godsey for Justin Godsey TV. I'll catch you guys in my next video.